Creo. It is time. It is time for my monthly roundup for March. I got fragrances, I got body sprays, we've got hygiene products, lots of Bath and Body Works stuff that I want to talk about, do an update after I've used a lot of these. Okay, the first one I want to do is actually an update on Dama Bianca. I bought a decant of Dama Bianca and I did my initial first impression review on that one. I've worn it a couple of times since then. It's very delicate and dainty. It's not a favorite, but I do appreciate how light and buttery, powdery is it kiwi or lime? Is it kumquat? It's some kind of citrus fruit in there. I think it's kumquat. I can't remember. It's very delicate and soft and like you've got that sweet citrus in there, but it's not harsh. It's very powdery and creamy. Listen, I like this one. It didn't last very long, I noticed. I don't know how old, obviously the juices where this came from, but I would assume with time, because it's got that vanilla in there, that it would become a little bit deeper, maybe a bit longer lasting. I enjoy the scent. I wish it lasted a little longer. That's the only thing, but I do like it. I really liked that one. Okay, we've got some Bodycare updates. So this month I did a massive Bath and Body Works haul. I did some of my own stuff that I purchased, and also I got a care package from my mom over in the States, and she sent me this Tropidelic. This is just the regular daily body lotion. And before I received this, I had seen some comments from you guys really loving this one. Now, we don't have this one in Australia, so she had to send this to me. And after I smelled it, I was like, I need the spray. I need the spray of this. It's gotta be my favorite Bath and Body Works scent right now. And I've been using it quite a bit, and I was playing around with some layering combinations. I ended up layering the lotion with Eau from Who Is Elijah. Now, Eau it's an incredibly green fragrance. It's the way I kind of describe it, sometimes it smells like freshly cut grass almost. So in Tropidelic, you do have a lot of sweetness in there, and I found that when I layered Eau on top of it, I felt like a jungle goddess. It adds back in more of that like crisp greenness that I feel like maybe this was missing a little bit of. It's like very, very sweet. But I layered Eau on top, and yeah, I just felt like Tarzan's wife or something. Smelled divine. I love the way I smelled. So I really loved that combination, and I had a feeling I would love something from Who Is Elijah over this Tropidelic one. Other body care items that I've been mowing through. Tutti Frutti candy. You guys were like, you better use those hydration body creams up because they go bad. And I have. I've been using it. Listen, it's very, very sweet. This is the Tutti Frutti one. It's got berries, sugared lemon, jelly beans. It is incredibly sweet, but I do really like the way it smells, and it feels very nice on the skin. So yeah, I've been using her every time I shower. I almost always use this every time I come out of the shower. So frequently using that one. Mr. Zuri is using the the Sweetheart Cherry body cream. He's enjoying that. And then actually I was testing out the Sol de Janeiro 59. I did my initial review on that one. I sprayed it in that haul, and I wasn't like a huge fan. Listen, I sprayed it again. My nose does not tire easily, okay? I honestly thought by that point my nose had gone weird. I feel the exact same way about Sol de Janeiro 59. It's an almost love. I do like the orchid in there. I like the very light vanilla, but it's not a love. I would often actually layer it with this, especially before bed, so I would douse myself in the Tutti Frutti, spray Sol de Janeiro 59. I wasn't really intending to make it like a layering combo, but that is what I wore, and it smelled pretty good, okay? And an update on the Phlur Mango Mood. I still don't like that one. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's like overly sweet. It's overly sweet, like almost indolic. It's not for me. It's definitely not for me, but I can see why a lot of people love it. But I just thought I'd update you on that one because no, my nose was right to begin with. Excuse me. Another body spray item I need to update you guys on. I did a video on the McoBeauty body spray, the Sol de Janeiro dupes. I love 71. It's probably the only one from Sol de Janeiro I actually really like. And because of that, I actually ended up buying like a real good size of it. But I did a review on these McoBeauty Sol de Janeiro dupes, and I did spray this one, not a lot, but like after I did the video, I was like, oh, I actually love this. And so I would spray it all over. My assumption was correct. It doesn't last quite as long as the original 71. I think the McoBeauty one is a great alternative. It just doesn't last as long, but maybe if you like spray 71, leave the house with your McoBeauty dupe. There you go. Easy. Very inexpensive. I mean, in Australia, these are like $16 or $17 at Chemist Warehouse, I think. They did have a sale that was $10 at Woolies. I missed that one. Yeah, also getting into the cooler weather. Very much enjoying scents like this, like 71. Still very, very good and incredibly inexpensive compared to the original. Oh my God, I just love the original. It's so good. Like, what the heck? I am getting this out of the way because I have been getting so many questions about my updated thoughts on the Club de Nuit Untold. I've had this bottle for many months now. It's been used. I think Mr. Zuri has used it more than me. Listen, guys, I don't want to smell it anymore. And that's not even to say because, I will say this about Untold. The amber has gotten so strong, like too strong. Like it's just smelling it from the atomizer is so overwhelming for me. But not only that, but I'm just so sick of this scent story at this point. I smell it way too often. I actually could not believe the last time I traveled how often I smelled this scent story. It could have been Baccarat Rouge. It could have been Red Temptation by Zara. It could have been this. But I will say someone actually like clocked me. I did wear this like a few months ago and she immediately clocked me and she's like, oh, is that Untold? So she knew it wasn't Baccarat Rouge, okay, but she's also like a fragrance girly, to be fair. I can't do it. It's like the amber is so strong at this point. I can't really stomach it anymore. I think it smells lovely on my partner. Mr. Zuri still really likes this one. I think it smells lovely on him. But I think I'm done with this. I think I'm done with like these super sweet amber scent stories. I'm over it. I'm over anything Baccarat Rouge-esque. Okay, so this is just like permanently on Mr. Zuri's stand. I don't reach for this anymore. It's his now. There you go. I know you guys have been begging for an update on that. I probably will still do like a separate video on the Club de Nuits that I have. I've got a few others that I've got in decants as well. Maybe I'll just do like a dedicated video with all of these in them. All the Club de Nuits that I have. But yeah, the Untold, I'm over it. I don't want to smell it anymore. Or anything like it. Okay, this is you know what? I feel like this fragrance month was such a good month. This was like a very happy, satisfying month for me for fragrance. So, Versencia Noir. I did not a whole video, but I included this in one of my Maison Alhambra Lattafa dupe videos. And I compared it to the current version of Versace Crystal Noir EDT and my whole sob story about that and discovering that it was reformulated, blah, 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 blah. I wore this month and I really like it. Okay, I don't know if it's just been the time. I mean, I haven't had it that long, like a month. How long have I had this? Like a month or something? I like it. Okay, I wore it. I sprayed all over my shirt and it lasted like all day. I was also very impressed by how long it lasted on my clothing. Who knew that all it needed was like less than a month? Maybe it didn't need that long. As more time goes on, I'm sure we'll get more beautiful. But yeah, I just wanted to update you on this one. I did whip it out again, sprayed it all over my clothing, just like, whatever, I'll just try it. And I really liked it. I very much enjoyed it. I didn't find it too soapy, and it lasted me like all day. So only good things about Versencia Noir. I'm so sorry I ever doubted you. She's a queen, she's a star, she's an icon. We love her. Okay, I have so many fragrances to talk about, you guys. It's like not even funny. Okay, I'm getting some real juicy updates for you guys. Yara. When I first smelled Yara, I was confused. This is why I don't watch fragrance videos anymore. I haven't for a long time. And I try to avoid any fragrance content, even on like Instagram. That's a lot harder to avoid because I spend a lot more time on Instagram, so that's kind of hard. And fragrance content still seems to creep into my feed, okay? But I remember when I was first hearing about Yara and how it's like strawberries and cream, super creamy vanilla, delectable fruit, strawberry. And when I smelled it, I was like, what the hell are people smelling? It's not creamy. It's super powdery. Like, it's a nice powder. I enjoy the powdery, but the descriptions that I felt were floating around the internet, I felt it did not really accurately describe what I was smelling, which was a very sweet, fruity powder. When I did that first impression review, it seemed that a lot of you guys agreed with me. Anyway, I whipped this out again recently. I sprayed it, I think, what did I spray it for? I don't know. I don't think I layered it with anything. I think I just sprayed it. Oh, that's right. I sprayed it to go to bed. And I like powdery scents to sleep. I don't know why. I love Mont Blanc's signature to sleep as well. And this, in a lot of ways, kind of reminds me of Mont Blanc's signature, the way it dries down. It's like very vanilla powder with some fruit, different fruit in this one. But I really enjoyed sleeping in this one. So Yara by Lattafa, to me, not really like a gourmand vanilla sweet treat. It is much more of a powdery vanilla. That's fine. I very much enjoy it to sleep. There you go. There is my update for Yara. I don't even know if I had done an update yet for Yara, but there it is. Love this one to sleep. Okay, next one is Sakeena. This one was like just a random pickup last month. After I talked about this one of you guys mentioned the similarity of notes in Sakeena to Heiress by Paris Hilton. And I was like, oh my God, why didn't I think to do that comparison? I cannot believe I didn't think to compare these two. And they are similar. That's right, because I said it reminded me of a Paris Hilton scent. That's why I think you guys brought that up. So thank you. So what I did is I whipped Heiress out. Now, I will say Heiress has that champagne note, which I think for me makes it like something that I still enjoy wearing to this day, even though it's very, very sweet. It's got that champagne, which I really love. I love the champagne in this very, very fruity passion fruit champagne scent. I was like, screw it. Let's layer these. So I did. I have the roller ball of Heiress, so I like rolled it all over my clothing. I rolled it all over my clothing, and then I doused myself in Sakeena, and I smelled like this all day. All day. It was so super strong as well. Was it the Sakeena or was it the Heiress by Paris Hilton? I don't know, but they're very similar. Just the Heiress has that champagne note, and I wore them together and it lasted ages, okay? Very, very sweet. I probably applied too much in hindsight, probably applied too much of the Heiress actually, but these two together, they lasted all day and it was like a very sweet, bubbly champagne. It was delightful. Okay, I've got some updates on some decants. I did a little decant smelling haul, if that's what you want to call it. I don't know. I've got a lot more decants I got to get through, so a lot more video to film. So last weekend I wore Alien Eau Extraordinaire, the gold shimmer. First of all, the shimmer, you don't see it, okay? I sprayed it like twice here and I didn't really see anything. It's not enough to be noticeable on your skin. I feel like I enjoy the scent, but I either oversprayed by accident, which is possible, okay? I feel like I may have oversprayed because I gave myself a headache the very first time that I wore this. I sprayed it again for the actual engagement party and it was fine. I didn't get a headache. Also spent a lot of time outside while I was there and it got a bit cooler later in the night. Listen, by the end of the night, I couldn't really smell it that heavily. So what I did is I sprayed Jessica Simpson signature. I brought it with me because I was like, well, what happens if my Alien Eau Extraordinaire fades and then like it gets cooler in the night and I want something a little more like creamy and cozy. So I ended up bringing Jessica Simpson's signature and I sprayed that one. It didn't really last. But it did smell really good. I really enjoyed smelling this in the end of the night. You know, when everyone had their blazers on, it was getting cold, and we were kind of sitting outside chatting, and I sprayed this, and it just just felt right. It's got that perfect amount of sweetness and the perfect amount of vanilla for autumn. I think this is like a beautiful autumn scent. Like you're transitioning from that hot weather into that cold weather. You still want that fruit, but you want the coziness of vanilla. Jessica Simpson signature. I think this is going to be maybe one that I commit to a full bottle just because it was so unexpected that I liked it so much. So yeah, Jessica Simpson signature. I wish it lasted longer. But you know, you get what you pay for with these ones. You're not really expecting amazing longevity. That's okay. I'm happy to respray. But I still might get a bottle of that one. This update, y'all are not going to want to hear this. Let me just... Shaghaf Oud Tonka. I highlighted this fragrance in a haul that I did like a month ago now. I bought a bunch of other fragrances and I bought this. I think I explained that this broke my blind buying rule. I usually have a rule that I don't typically go over $1 per mil when I'm blind buying a scent. I try my best to either get a decant or get a sample if I can. And Shaghaf Oud Tonka, I broke that rule. This was an exception. It's 75. I think this one is actually 75 mils and it was 115 Australian dollars. So I broke that rule because everyone seemed to love this one. Let me explain, okay? Do I even smell it? Okay, let me explain. I love the scent, okay? That has not changed. I enjoy the scent. After that day when I talked about this and I did that review, I was so excited that I sprayed it. I sprayed it on my clothing. Obviously, I was like, I'm gonna wear this today. So I sprayed it. I remember I got done filming. I sat down on the couch and my head started to hurt. And I was like, oh, yeah, that happens sometimes. Like if I'm smelling a lot of different things, it does happen, not very often, but sometimes I will get a headache. And I was like, I just chalked it up to, you know, I smelled a bunch of different things and, you know, I overwhelmed my senses, okay? Didn't think much about it. Fast forward a few days, I have started to, this is kind of a spoiler for what's to come. Once we move into the new place, okay, I did a decant of this into a 10 ml spray because I'd bought some supplies and I decanted this into a 10 ml spray and I started to get a headache and I was like, what is going on? Like, why do I have a headache? I hadn't even sprayed perfume that day until I was spraying this and decanting it and I started to feel that pain and I was like, what the hell? So I left it alone. One of these worst headaches I had had in so long. Like, it turned so bad. I couldn't even have light on anywhere. And then that second time I got a headache, anytime I would smell this, I could already feel it coming. I could feel the pain starting to emerge, like right here. I can't smell this. I'm even like, I don't even want to open it and smell it, except for that little bit that I did, because now every time I smell this, I get a headache. So I can't wear this. I actually convinced my mom to buy this one and she hates it. Like, she actually thinks it smells like old lady. I like it. I like the almond in there. It's a very, I'm not gonna smell it. It's a very like powdery, smooth almond. It is incredibly powdery. Actually, I should say that it is incredibly almond powder, but I really liked it. I can't, my body does not tolerate it. Even after smelling it just then, I can already feel like pain happening. So I don't know what ingredient is in here that I just cannot stomach. Well, not stomach, it's like all up here in the head. But not only does it make me feel ill and give me a headache, not a single person that has smelled this outside of myself has liked it. None of my family has liked it. Mr. Zuri hated it. He hated it. And not only that, but it like lingers so strongly. I will say that if nothing else, it's like a powerhouse of a scent. I remember I sprayed a little bit on his arm and it's like that whole room reeked of it for 2 days after I sprayed it on his arm. Yeah, I can't wear this. This will be decanted and sold coming soon, okay? But I can understand why people like it. I enjoy the scent. Everyone around me hates it, and it gives me a massive headache. Really unfortunate, really sad update for this one. But maybe it's a good thing, because, like, no one else likes it that has smelled it around me. So it shouldn't really matter at the end of the day. But also, like, even if it didn't give me a headache, I don't want other people to be repulsed by my scent, right? Like, I don't want to go around... Like, let's say I just loved smearing human feces on myself, and I thought it smelled amazing. If no one can be within, like, 10 feet of you... Well, you're like becoming a nuisance to society. I don't know. That's a very extreme metaphor, but you get what I'm saying. Very sad. This will be decanted and sold. Velvet Rose by Lattafa. I hauled this like months ago. I was intrigued by the rose at the time. I was like, I guess collecting a lot of rose scents. It had, when I first sprayed it, it was like patchouli like times a billion, which didn't turn me off from the scent. Listen, the patchouli, I really liked the patchouli in this, but I was like, it's so heavy. It is like so strong of a patchouli. I like it, but it's way too strong. I literally could not smell any other note in this but the patchouli. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Why is the patchouli so strong? It's like, why is it called Velvet Rose? It should be called Velvet Patchouli. I sprayed it again recently and I feel the same. The patchouli is way too strong. Like, I don't know if my bottle is weird and just not right, but it's just too much patchouli. I think the patchouli smells good, but where's the rose? I just smelled patchouli. It's really crazy. Maybe there's a little bit of rose in there, but it's like, it's gone. It's like on the other side of the planet, that rose. Yeah, Velvet Rose, not for me. I like the patchouli, but it's just like straight up patchouli and like barely anything else. So not what I was expecting. It should be renamed to Velvet Patchouli. This is another exciting update too. I have like, despite the Shaghaf Oud Tonka, okay, I have a lot of good updates. For most of these scents are like good updates, right? I grabbed this, I think this is the Fragrance World's Oud Satin Mood dupe. It's in this tiny little 25 ml bottle. I bought it on a whim. I was like, whatever. I actually don't even have a decant of Oud Satin Mood. Oh, this smells delightful. I wore it one other time. Didn't last very long, but I also haven't had it for that long. I feel like this one might need some more time for longevity's sake. It's a very smooth, like, oud and like a little bit of like a syrupy sweetness. It's like it has like that pop rock type of sweetness. It's very bright, a syrupy, jammy, sparkly rose in there. Love this one. I had Mr. Zuri wear this actually, and he loved it. He actually loved wearing this. I think it smelled beautiful on him. So this Marquee Collection 214 by Fragrance World, they're 25 ml, dupe of Oud Satin Mood. Beautiful, love it. Wish it lasted longer, but beautifully unisex. Mr. Zuri loves it. Yeah, that's a good update on that one, because I did get some questions about if it's leans feminine, and Mr. Zuri is usually very like steers clear of anything that smells even remotely feminine, and he liked this. So there you go. Take from that what you will. I think I'm gonna also do like a dedicated video on these. You know what? For you guys, because you guys are my loyal subscribers, and I know this video is going to be watched mostly by my subscribers. I'll just give you the rundown on these, and then I'll also film a separate video. So, Bade'e Al Oud. All right, girl, we got updates. We got updates on these. So first of all, I whipped out, what did I whip out first? We went and saw Dune 2. I whipped out Sublime. I was like, you know, it was a warm day, and even though we were going to be sitting inside, I was like, screw it. I'm going to whip out Sublime and see how it's changed. If you guys remember when I first received this is one that did not have good longevity at all. It wasn't like a nose blindness problem, because Mr. Zuri couldn't smell it either. After like only like 3 hours, he couldn't smell it. Neither could I. The longevity was a bit sad, okay? I whipped this puppy out and I sprayed it on my clothing. Dune is like a long movie, right? It's like 3 hours. Crazy. It's a 3-hour movie. And I wasn't even moving. I was just sitting there in my seat, and I was just constantly getting whiffs of it so strongly the whole movie. And we were sitting there for at least 3 hours. Obviously, I had sprayed it before we even got there, and sat down in the movie, and then watched the movie, and then the shirt. My shirt is now Sublime. This fragrance now owns that shirt, okay? I could not believe the turnaround of the projection, the longevity, and it still smells just as beautiful. It's maybe a little bit deeper. It's so super mouth-wateringly sweet, beautifully fresh fruit, lychee, and rose combination. It's got that depth from the patchouli. It's like, it's more well-rounded now. It probably has changed in that it feels more full-bodied. It doesn't feel as watery. It feels a bit stronger. Just in every way, it's stronger, it's thicker. Oh my, I can't get enough of it. This is like, I cannot believe how much this has changed. This truly demonstrates the magic of aging and maturation. So yeah, I am so glad. I bought these in, I don't know, I'll check to see when I uploaded my original Bade'e Al Oud video, but that's when I bought this. So that's how many months it has been here on the screen. Just wait, just give it time. If you're having the same issue as me, your Bade'e Al Ouds aren't lasting very long, just Give them time, okay? So after I whipped this out and sprayed it and was like, blew my tits off, I was like, all right, now let's whip out Oud for Glory. Y'all, it's so much better now. It is so, okay, it has gotten sweeter. I will say this Oud for Glory has gotten a lot sweeter. I think when I first smelled it, I was like, I don't get any sweetness. What the hell are people talking about? Sweet Oud? What are you saying? That has changed. Oh boy, has that changed. So definitely still perfectly unisex. I like force Mr. Zuri, not force him to wear it, but I'm like, I want you to wear this because I want to smell it on you. I did that a few times this month because I would wear something and I'm like, you need to test Oud for Glory. I need to spray this on you. And I was getting constant whiffs of it. It's gotten so much stronger, so much sweeter. So again, same thing. Like if you're having issues with longevity on Oud for Glory, give it time. Give it time. Originally, when I opened this, I smelled it and I was like, I don't know, I feel like it's not for me. I feel like the Oud is like way too strong and like harsh. And now, no, I will wear this. I will wear this. It's starting to cool down. I have a feeling this is going to be a go-to for me. I'm blown away by how much I love it now. Both of these, love them. So I was like, I've tested these two. Let's just whip them all out and do an update, right? Let's just smell these and see how they've changed. You know what I'll say about Amethyst is that the Oud, I think, has gotten stronger in this. It's much, much deeper. I feel like it's much deeper than I remember it being. Longevity, I think this one, I didn't have longevity issues when I first pulled it out of the box, so that has not really changed. I don't think I had longevity issues. I think this was a pretty strong performer out of the box. It still is. It's still a great performer. I love the rose and Oud combination in this one. The Oud might be too strong for people in this, but I don't think it's too strong for me. Although with saying that the Oud is very strong in this, I don't think it's one that Mr. Zuri would wear. I'm pretty sure he mentioned that this is still feels maybe too feminine for him. I think it's perfectly unisex, especially now that Oud has really deepened up. I mean, it wasn't a bright fragrance to begin with, but it's definitely gotten deeper. Still really enjoy this one. Beautiful rose and Oud combination, beautiful unisex in my opinion. Now we're getting to the sad. Honor and Glory. Okay, I have not seen the turnaround in Honor and Glory that I did with Sublime. This was another one that I had projection issues out of the box. It hasn't really changed. I don't know what's going on. I don't smell it. Like a couple of hours later, I don't smell it. Even on clothing, if I spray it on clothing, I don't smell it. I mean, I have Mr. Zuri smell it. He doesn't smell it either. I think I tried to layer it with kawa and all I could really smell was kawa at the end of the day, kawa. I'm gonna let it sit. Like I mentioned, we are getting into the cooler weather, so fragrances like this will be pulled out a lot more and it's probably sprayed a lot more. But I just haven't seen the longevity change in this one like I have in Sublime. I don't know, I smell it and I love it. I love the scent. I can see why it can be a bit polarizing. It's got turmeric in there. It's got black pepper, and adds an herbal facet that I think is very pleasant, and I think it counteracts what might be too sweet from that like pineapple brulee or whatever it is that's in the top. Another thing is that the pineapple, like any fruit that's in the top, it's like gone almost immediately. I will say that too, is like the fruit note in here doesn't last very long. Once it dries down, you're really getting like a lot of cinnamon. It's like a cinnamon, vanilla, turmeric, sandalwood, and it's smooth, okay? But it just is not lasting. It's not very fruity after the initial spray, okay? So you're not getting like it's not like a fruit bomb. It's definitely a cool weather fragrance. I like the scent, just wish it lasted longer. I'm gonna give it more time. Now that it's cooling down, like I said, probably whip it out more. But there you go, updates on all four of these. Like I said, I'll probably do a more dedicated video just for the Bade'e Al Ouds because I know they're so popular, and I do get a lot of questions like, how is it now? How's your Sublime now? How much did your Oud for Glory change? So there is your answer for those of you who are subscribed, but I will do a separate video. Share it with your friends, your family, your mom, your dog. Yeah, kind of a sort of an update. It hasn't been long enough quite yet for me to do like a full update on these. But as you guys know, I went ahead and I purchased the new Maison Alhambra dupes of Tom Ford. So if you don't know, they got in a bit of legal trouble, okay? They got approached by legal and they had to step back and repackage and rename all of their Tom Ford dupes. So I bought their like new 30 ml sizes of their new packaging and new names. I will just tell you now, it's the same juice, okay? I managed to get my hands on some older bottles too of some of the other fragrances. It's the same juice, okay? Don't worry, you're not missing out on anything. You don't need to rush out to buy these new ones. It's the same. I know some of you, after I smelled Pacific Blue and compared it to Neroli Portofino, you guys were like, it smells the same. What are you saying? That new one must be different. It's not. It's not. I just don't think it's a good enough dupe of Neroli Portofino. I love Neroli Portofino. I did try and wear Pacific Blue. I don't mind it. Definitely don't mind it. But it does kind of teeter on a little bit like cleaner-esque of a smell, like a cleaning product. Not giving Neroli Portofino to my nose, but again, this juice is pretty fresh, so I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna let it sit. Not enough of an update. It's only been like a couple weeks, I think, since I actually opened these. Yeah, I wanted to just give that quick update. Juice is the same. I just had some juice. I just drank some actual juice, not fragrance juice. Coral blush. I can't get down with it. I can't. I'm sorry. That might change with time, but no, it's too, it's got that like gone bad greenness in there, that like super indolic, like it's moved away from sweet and now it's like poopy. You know what I mean? Not loving coral blush. To me, it's better than the Tom Ford one, but I still don't really like either of them. Pink Velvet. I like Pink Velvet. It's a bit linear. I think I mentioned that in the review. It's not as complex as the Tom Ford Rose Prick. It's also really not a dupe. This one's got vanilla in it. I think it makes it more of like a warmer fragrance. It's maybe more suited to a bit cooler weather or like nighttime at least. I think Rose Prick is better like all year round, any time of day kind of scent. Also, I think Pink Velvet leans more feminine. Longevity's not really great in this one, but again, like I said, I just opened these like a couple of weeks ago, so I think they need more time as far as longevity goes. But I just wanted to give you that update. Same juice, okay? Same juice in these new bottles. I did confirm. So you're not missing anything. If you already have these, you don't need to go run out and buy them. What's another one? Oh, this one. I should have done this one. Okay, it's been a while since I've worn this, so it's hard. I'm needing to like refresh my memory. Aftermath by Fragrance World, the intro Aftermath dupe of Side Effect. This one, difference between this one and Side Effect, this one's got rose in it. It's got a heavier vanilla facet as well. It didn't last very long, okay? It needs more time. So I've had this one for what, how long now? Like nearly a month. I think it needs more time. I sprayed it a few times, like on separate days. And like after a couple of hours, I couldn't really smell it. Need more time on this one. Not really lasting amazingly, so hard to say. I love the scent. I think it smells really good. It's still, to me, not a good enough dupe of Side Effect. I'm trying to get After Effect. That one is not available in Australia. So trust me, I've searched high and low for After Effect, and I can't get my hands on that one quite yet. Side Effect and now Narcotic Delight, that's also a new favorite of mine by Initio. One of those two, that just might be like one of those where I actually buy a bottle. Like my very first luxury fragrance splurge, like on a full bottle, it might be one of those two. We will see. Okay, I'm still going to smell any dupes that I can get my hands on. Of course, I will smell them and tell you guys what I think. Yeah, I can't really give you my full thoughts on Aftermath. Of course, the other one that I have, I didn't whip out Infinite Elixir by Maison Alhambra this month, but you guys already know how I feel about that one. I ended up wearing it a lot. It's definitely not as sweet as Aftermath, Intro Aftermath, now that I'm smelling it again. Yeah, Intro Aftermath, I don't know. Maybe it's not sweeter, but Intro Aftermath is definitely smoother with that vanilla in there. I feel like it's a bit smoother. The sweetness in Infinite Elixir is like a little bit more pungent, and it's not like that rum, that beautiful rum sweetness that I love about Side Effect. I don't know. Didn't really whip this one out to wear though, but I did try Intro Aftermath. Needs some more time. Didn't last very long. I do like the scent. Okay, Narissa Rouge. This is the dupe of Narciso Rouge by Narciso Rodriguez. I think I mentioned that Narissa Rouge isn't actually quite as musky, so for that reason, I think I liked it. I ended up liking it more, even though Narciso Rouge has more of a prominent iris note, which normally would make me gravitate towards that more, but I just can't do the Narciso musks. I don't know what it is. I'm just very sensitive to musk, I guess. Yeah, see, in this one, I hardly get any musk at all. In fact, I think now the white cedar is a lot stronger in Narissa Rouge. I did wear it. It didn't leave, to be honest, it didn't really leave a lasting impression on me. But in my comparison, I think that the tuberose was a bit more forward on the dry down, and the iris was more forward on the dry down in the original Narciso Rouge. Very powdery. That cedar feels stronger than I remember. That cedar and that vetiver feels much stronger now on the skin and in the dry down than I remember it being. Okay, I think I need more time with Narissa Rouge to give like more of a in-depth update. I like it. Listen, it's not a love for me, but if you like Narciso Rouge, well, you still might also not love this because it doesn't have that musk, okay? It doesn't have that same musk. And the dry down is quite different. It doesn't have that prominent iris note that Narciso Rouge has. So for me, it's not like the best dupe I've ever smelled. It's very pretty. I actually do like it probably more now than I remember because of that strong cedar dry down. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to whip this. This is, again, another one that I'll probably start wearing more when it gets cooler. So very powdery. Very, very powdery. Very woody. In fact, I'm not really smelling any tuberose at this point. No, I'm smelling tuberose, but it's very woody. Okay, crazy. I don't remember being so woody. Woody, powdery, Narissa Rouge. If you like those, maybe you'll like this. Okay, we've got another body mist, Luminous, by Bath & Body Works. I was coming back to this a couple of times this month, you guys. I don't know why. Maybe it's the powderiness in there that makes me come back to it just because it's cooling down. I'm moving further away from those really prominent, like, fresh fruit notes, and I'm now more drawn to stuff like this. I don't know why. To be fair, I probably should have assumed that I would end up loving this one because it's got a prominent iris note, obviously, what makes it so powdery. It's a beautiful, sweet, powdery iris with a little bit of warmth from the amber. Listen, it's something crazy. It's something like crazy unique. It's obviously inspired by La Vie Belle. I don't remember even liking La Vie Belle as much as Luminous. I feel like I think I actually like the Bath & Body Works one more. And this is just the body spray. I don't know, that's crazy. I know you guys have suggested that I try the La Vie Belle Iris Absolute. I think it's the Iris Absolute. I'm trying to get my hands on a decant of that. It's on my list of things I need to smell because I feel like I would love that one. I'm just a sucker for Iris, you guys. What can I say? So yeah, I did end up spraying this a little bit this month too. Oh, here you go. This is some of my favorite juice that I love to spray. I actually use this to clean my brushes. It's isocol. This is not a fragrance. It's just isopropyl alcohol. I just thought it would be funny. I use it to clean my makeup brushes in between like real washes. Isocol. Give it up for Isocol, guys. Isopropyl alcohol. Love her. We love her. Okay, next one I want to do an update on is Lattafa's Now Rouge. This is, well, it's Rave, but it's Lattafa. And you guys did tell me that, which I was like, I knew it was owned by someone, and I was like, I'm going to figure this out as soon as I upload this video. And yeah, sure enough, I Googled it, and it's Lattafa. Google search would have told me that. So Rave Now Rouge. So Wave Now Rouge is, this is a very balsamic wood. So when I first smelled it, I was like, this smells just like a straight up piece of wood in front of me, like in front of my face. It's got a lovely, like, slightly powdery note. It's got an iris in there. God, what can I say? I'm just so predictable, you guys. I think now that I'm smelling it again, there's like kind of a smokiness that I didn't notice before. There's like a touch of green, a touch of powder, very heavy wood with a very heavy, like, sappy balsamic property, but also there's like a touch of a smokiness. I am so keen to whip this out when it's like super cold. I'm so excited to wear stuff like this. I think most people would consider this more masculine leaning, I reckon, but I love how juicy the wood note is in here. I love the touch of greenness. I love the little bit of powdery iris in this one. Not as strong quite yet. I actually just sprayed it on my arm, but I remember I sprayed this and it wasn't strong enough yet. I'm gonna have to do another update on this one, let it sit a little bit longer, maybe spray it a few more times. I just love how fresh and watery the wood feels. It's delicious. So sappy. So sappy and watery and fresh. I feel like I've just cut down a Christmas tree. That's what this smells like. I love it. Okay, more Maison Alhambra dupes. You know what? I just realized that this bottle, the label is like crooked on it. Can you guys see that? It's crooked. What the frick? So these were the ones I was talking about where I bought the old bottles. So I bought the Tobacco Touch and Toscano leather. I bought those, and then I bought the new bottles of those, Eternal Touch and Smoky Leather. I already mentioned this. I smelled these on camera, both side by side. It's the same juice. Don't worry. It's the same juice. I learned that I love Tobacco Touch, which is of course a dupe for Tobacco Vanille. I love this more than Tobacco Vanille. Tobacco Vanille has too strong of that that dirtiness. Tobacco Touch, I would say, is definitely not a one-to-one to Tobacco Vanille. Tobacco Vanille has a couple of different notes in there. It's also got tobacco flower, tobacco blossom, which I love tobacco blossom, just like in nature. I love how it smells. And I actually preferred Tobacco Touch. It's probably a little more mass appealing. It doesn't have quite that like heavy indolic dirty property that Tobacco Vanille does. You might prefer that actually, but this is a very heavy clove anise. It's actually leaked. The bottle is still leaking, you guys. I don't know what is going on. I swear it's upright, but it's all over the inside of the lid. So maybe it's a good thing I have this smaller size. I am so excited to wear this once it cools down, the Tobacco Touch. I haven't fully sprayed it on me yet, so I don't have a full update as to how it wears. And actually, the newest version, for your guys' information, Tobacco Touch, I thought the new version was called Smoky Touch. It's not Smoky Touch. It's Eternal Touch. Don't get Smoky Touch thinking you're getting the old Tobacco Touch. It's not. It's Eternal Touch. I made that mistake. I don't know, I was like, tobacco, smoky, yes, surely. No, Smoky Touch is the new version of Toscano leather. I also really like Toscano leather. I love both Toscano leather and Tuscan leather by Tom Ford. I think they both smell really good. I think these are closer dupes than the Tobacco Touch by Maison Alhambra and Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. I think Toscano leather is closer to me, but I gotta get myself a dupe of ombre leather. I think that's the one I'm gonna try and get in this month. Yeah, I just wanted to just mention those two because I don't think a lot of people saw that. I know that they're more like masculine leaning. Maybe that's why people aren't very interested in these, but girls, if maybe you've smelled Tobacco Vanille, there was just something about it that you weren't sure about, but you want something real spicy and like a clove, anise, cinnamon, like very holiday-esque, get Tobacco Touch, okay? This is like the ultimate, like I would wear this during the holidays for sure. And if you need to get the newer small version, just know that it's called Eternal Touch, okay? That's the new Tobacco Touch. That's everything for this month. I try not to let things slip through the cracks if I can, but I'm sure it's happened. After today, I don't know how things are gonna go. You guys know that we are still staying with in-laws, waiting to move into our new house, and it is officially done, but we don't have the keys yet. That should hopefully happen sometime this week. So just know that if I go missing for a few days, I'm gonna try my best not to, but things are gonna be crazy, all right? So if you guys are not subscribed to my second channel, I'm most likely the first video that goes up there is probably gonna be some kind of like house moving vlog or house tour, like a full house tour. As soon as we move in, that's what I'm going to do before we move in all of our furniture. Is actually I'm going to do a full house tour, just empty without anything in it. And I want to kind of do it as like a little furnishing journey. It's not done. There are a lot of things that I plan on doing after we get the keys. There's a lot of things that I still want to do to the house. And if you guys are interested in that kind of like house, home and living content, definitely recommend subscribing over there. Yeah, that is all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.